So we move on to the Saros, which is another layer. This is the third layer now. So we've got the charts is one layer. The moon family is another layer, and the Saros series is the third layer. And of course, the fourth layer is your own personal chart. So these are all going to inform us in terms of what we're actually looking at. So we were laughing about baddie Bernadette Brady. She should be, because Bernadette Brady was the first one to actually classify all of these eclipses. And I say the first, the Babylonians were the first. She's the first in our modern times to give us delineations. But I have no doubt that the Babylonians, who were the first to start observing the patterns between these eclipses and start connecting them into families, they were the first to draw these patterns between them and realize that there were connections, and they were to start predicting them. And I have no doubt that they started delineating as well. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they knew what they were expecting. It's just that we don't have the records to know what they were saying about them. For us, we know that this particular cycle, Bernadette Brady calls Saros Series 10 South, and that applies for both the Leo eclipse and also the Pisces eclipse. She puts them both together. Whereas NASA, who classifies it as Saros cycle 126, that's just for the Leo. So they separate out the solar and the lunar eclipses. So it gets a little bit more complicated. So I'm just going to focus on the Leo one for them. So Bernadette Brady tells us that this actually started in 1179. I mean, how fascinating. What was going on in 1179? That we can think of that still applies to us in our modern era. It was a totally different,
I bet they were brewing beer at that point.
Yes. Yeah.
That's maybe about it. Brewing beer, rotating their crops.
Yeah. I mean, 1066 is the date that in the UK we go back to. That was the Norman conquest for us. We've got a chair in Westminster Abbey that we started crowning our kings on, that we still do, that goes back to 1066. So it's close to that time. So you can almost feel it, but it's kind of like the beginning of this age, but things were, I think they still had straw on the floor and things like that. It's very different to how we are now. And this series started at the South Pole, and they start at one of the poles, the South or the North Pole. So this is why it's 10 South. That tells us that it started at the South Pole. And then it gradually moves and gets wider